Hey, sweet friend. Welcome to Yoga with Rachel, and also welcome to day 5 of our 7-day yoga challenge. In today's practice, we open up our hearts through exploring a number of heart-opening yoga poses. For items, I invite you to bring a blanket or a pillow to your space. For your blanket, please fold it over a few times and then roll it into a blanket roll, just like what I've done here. And an optional item for our practice would be a yoga block or a thick book. All right, without further ado, let's get started. Join me in a cross-legged seat. So come on down to the ground. Permission to sit on a pillow or a blanket to lift your hips, creating a bit more space throughout the body. And so that way we can find a little bit more ease in our very first posture. So before we get into any movement today, I thought that I would extend an invitation for us all to make use of an affirmation to support us not only on the mat, but also off of the mat. So the affirmation is, I am worthy. I am worthy. So you can say this affirmation in your head, you can whisper it, you can, scream it out loud so that way your neighbors hear, whatever you wish to do with that. And if you want to get a little bit more detailed with it, you could say something like, I am worthy of love, I am worthy of joy, and so on. So feel free to make use of that affirmation throughout our journey here together on the mat. And you can always make use out of these affirmations off the mat as well. Now, if affirmations are not your thing, it is all good. What I invite you to do is simply breathe the love in on your inhales and then breathe love out on the exhalations. All right, let's get started. Place your hands on your kneecaps, and now let's begin to move our torso in a circular motion. So breathing in to smooth the heart forward, lift your chin, and then breathing out to continue the circle, rounding through chin to chest. Breathing in, coming forward, breathing out to send it on back. So continue these circles. We're warming up the spine in a gentle way, preparing for some lovely heart openers today. Connecting with our breath already. You can reverse that circle. Perhaps, the booty is getting a nice massage, a little 2-in-1. All right, allow your circles to become smaller and smaller until we eventually meet with the head over the heart and the heart over the pelvis. Send your right arm behind your back body. Your right fingers will be by your left hip. So maybe you can see my fingers here. Take hold of your left arm as you drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. Relax the right shoulder down and breathe deeply into this neck stretch. If this feels like it's a little bit too much, you can always place the right fingertips by your right hip and then explore that stretch. So wherever you have landed, bring your breath. All right, let's relax that. Take it over to the other side. Left hand behind the back. Take hold of your right arm. And then drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. And breathe, breathe, breathe. Okay, let's release that and make your way to all fours. Feel free to pad your knees with a blanket, a folded blanket, or a pillow. All right, so we've been here a few times throughout our journey, huh? Tabletop position really offers a nice check-in, the mind, the body, the soul. So we're stacking the wrists so that way they are underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Spread your fingers, root down through the tops of your feet. Crown of your head reaches forward as we hug the belly button in towards the spine, rocking that pelvis forward. Great work. On your next breath in, lift your right knee away from the ground. Keep a bend in your right knee as you send the sole of your right foot towards the sky. Drop your belly, open on up through your heart, look forward. So you can think cow pose here, just with one leg up in the air. And then on your next breath out, hug your right knee in towards your heart center, round through the spine. Breathe in to come back the way that you came, right foot towards the sky, look forward. And then breathe on out to hug the right knee in towards center, nose towards your knee. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then release your right knee down to the ground. All right, same dance, just on the other side, lifting the left knee away. Sole of your left foot towards the sky. Open on up through the chest, through your throat. Breathe in here. Breathe on out to round through. Feel that beautiful contraction. Breathe in. Left foot to the sky. Breathe on out to round through. One more round. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then release your left knee down to the ground. Send your right leg out long and then turn your right foot. So we're pivoting on that foot so that way your right toes face towards the right side of your room. Your whole foot is planted on the mat. And then turn your left toes to the left side so that way your heel is in line with your left knee and your left knee is in line with your left hip. Feel free to look at the screen if you'd like to see a little demo of this. Place your left palm down on the ground, spread through your fingers as you place your right fingertips on your left wrist. Now begin to draw a line up your arm, across your chest, and then send your right hand to the sky as you turn to look on up towards your hand and then rock your pelvis forward. So we're creating length through the back body. Feel free to walk your right foot back in space if that feels a little bit more stable. Keep your breath flowing. Breathe in, breathe out. On your next breath in, reach your right hand towards the top of your mat. Draw your thumb back as you press your hips forward. Beautiful. Keep your breath flowing, friends. Breathe in here. And then breathe on out. Let's unravel, releasing your right hand down to the ground. Swing the left toes back in, and then your right knee comes back in as well. We reset in tabletop position. Extend the left leg out and turn on those toes so your left toes are facing to the left side, and then swing your right toes to the right. Pressing, sorry, my floorboard is making a weird noise. Pressing the top of the right foot into the ground. We place the left fingertips on the right wrist. We draw that gorgeous line up the arm, across the chest, and then left hand high into the sky. You can look on up as you rock the pelvis forward. Create space as you press out of your foundation. Breathe in. Breathe out to reach your left hand over towards the top of your mat. Press your hips forward. Draw your thumb back in space. Open on up through the heart. Perhaps you repeat your affirmation here. I am worthy. I am worthy of love and joy. Take a breath in. And then as you breathe on out, let's unravel, lowering your left hand down to the ground, swing the right toes in, and then step the left knee in. So we reset in a tabletop position. Curl your right toes under, and then slide your right foot towards the back edge of your mat. Take a breath in here. And then as you breathe out, hug the right knee in before stepping your right foot between your hands. Permission to walk your left knee back in space. Breathe in. Breathe out. On your next breath, then press into all that is touching the earth as you send your hands high into the sky, palms facing towards one another. Breathe out to relax the shoulder blades down the back body. So right here, the legs are extremely engaged and active. So we're hugging the legs in towards the midline. And what I like to do in, any kind of lunge is I like to imagine that my front foot is trying to pull back the front edge of my mat towards the back edge. And the back foot here is trying to pull that back edge towards the front. So we're creating a whole body experience here. Peel your right hip crease back. Breathe in. Breathe out to bend at your elbows, finding goalpost arms. Lift your heart, lift your chin slightly, exploring a gentle back bend. Breathe in, hands high into the sky. Breathe out to bend at the elbows. One more round. Breathe in. Breathe out. All right. Fold forward. Release your left palm down to the ground, or if you have a yoga block, onto that yoga block. On your next breath in, send your right hand high into the sky. We're exploring a spinal twist. Permission to curl the back toes under and then lift that back knee away from the ground for a little bit more heat and fire. Be mindful of your right knee. It may want to come out a little bit. Let's hug that right knee in. Breathe in. And then breathe on out to lower your right hand down to the earth, as well as your back knee. We reset. And then step the right foot back, tabletop position. All right, check in with your alignment, check in with your breath before curling your left toes under and then sliding your left foot towards the back edge of your mat. Breathe in here, and then breathe on out to hug the left knee in towards your heart before stepping the left foot through. Your fingers will frame your front foot. Look towards your back foot, just see if it's splaying out a little bit. I just noticed that mine is. So I'm really grounding down through that back foot. On your next breath in, press into all that's touching the earth, pressing into your power as you send your hands to the sky. Great work. Breathe in here. And then breathe on out to bend at the elbows, lift your heart, lift your chin slightly. Breathe in, hands high into the sky. Breathe out to bend. Breathe in, reach, lengthen, and then breathe on out, bending. And then begin to fold forward, right hand to the mat or to a yoga block, and then find your spinal twist on this side. Curl your back toes under. Feel free to lift that back knee away from the ground. Your heel is actively reaching towards the back edge of your mat. Take a breath in here, and then breathe on out to lower that back knee, left hand to the ground, and then step your left foot back. We reset in a tabletop position. Walk your hands towards the long edges of your yoga mat. We're going to turn our index fingers so that way they're facing towards the front edge of the mat. Pressing into the fingertips, pressing into the knuckles. Curl your toes under. Breathe in here. Breathe on out to lift the knees away from the earth and then peel the tailbone to the sky, downward facing dog. You can pedal out your feet here. All right, find stillness. Turn the big toes in slightly and then bend into your knees, releasing your heart space closer towards your thighs. Looking between your legs. Keeping that breath flowing. Breathe in here And then breathe on out through the mouth. All right, look towards the top edge of your mat and then step your right foot behind your right hand or wrist, and then the left foot follows. So we're going to meet in a standing forward fold. Bend your knees here. Be mindful of where the weight is being placed in your feet. Just trying your best to place the weight evenly into all four corners of your feet, just as we have done throughout our entire journey, establishing a strong and beautiful base. On your next breath in, slide your hands up your shins, past your kneecaps, up to your thighs, and then send the fingertips back and behind. Hug belly button in towards the spine to really engage that core. Reach the crown of your head forward as you look down at the ground. Airplane arms. Breathe in here, and then breathe on out to fold forward, releasing your fingertips to the earth. Breathe in, breathe out. On your next breath in, begin to slowly roll on up through your spine. Eventually arriving in mountain pose, palms facing forward. Check in with your alignment, aligning head over heart, heart over pelvis. Take a moment to just tune in to how you feel. Wonderful. On your next breath in, take up space as you send your hands up and overhead. And then breathe on out just to relax the shoulders down the back body. All right, walk your feet together, arch to arch, and then interlace your fingers, and then just release the index fingers. All right, breathe in to find length. Breathe out to tilt to the left, bumping the hips to the right while we stay grounded in both feet. Breathing some love into your rib cage. Breathe in here, and then breathe on out to come back to center to tilt to the right, bumping the hips to the left. Breathe in, and then breathe on out to journey back to center. Release that bind, stepping your feet underneath the hips once again, and then send your arms from left to right, and then turn your palms to face towards the sky. Now, draw your thumbs back in space, push your hips forward, lift your heart, and then lift your chin slightly. So really feel your shoulder blades kissing each other. So we are stretching out through the front body, which can feel really, really great, especially because we spend a lot of time in flexion. So you can think, sitting on the couch or sitting, at a computer and, typing away. So breathe in here and then breathe on out to find a neutral spine, releasing your hands down to your sides. Step your right foot towards the back edge of your mat and then pivot on your right foot. So that way your toes are pointing in and your heel is pointing out. And then bend into your left leg. So that way your knee is stacked over top of your ankle and the hips right here are going to be angled. All right, once again, check in with your alignment. Take a breath in and then breathe on out to open up to a warrior two. Left arm forward, right arm behind, and then turn to look past the left fingertips. Draw the pinkies back. Open up through the heart. Breathe love in, and then breathe some love out. Straighten through that front leg, and then bump your hips back towards the back of your room. When you do this, you may notice that the left hand kind of reaches a little bit more forward. And now, just like a teapot would, we're gonna tilt, okay? So we're gonna tip the upper body. The left hand is coming closer and closer towards the earth, while the right hand reaches up towards the sky. Feel free to place your left fingertips on the earth. You can make use of a yoga block here, placing your fingertips on the yoga block. What I like to do is I like to place my top hand, so the top of my hand, onto my ankle and then press the ankle into the hand and then the hand presses back. So open on up through your heart, look on up towards the sky, or you can look forward, or perhaps you look down towards the ground. Just maintain space between the ears and the shoulders. Breathe in. And then on the breath out, imagine that someone's lifting you up by your right hand. Lifting, lifting, lifting until we find our warrior two once again. Breathe in. And then breathe on out to straighten through that front leg and then turn both sets of toes towards the corners of the mat. Heels turn in. On your next breath in, send both hands high into the sky. Palms are facing forward, so we're making an X shape with the body. Draw the hands back, open on up. Permission to repeat your affirmation here. I am worthy. I am worthy of love and joy. Can you feel the energy from the ground beneath you trickling into your feet, up your legs, to your pelvis, to your torso, to your head, all the way to your arms and your hands. Feeling that beautiful connection. Breathe in. Breathe out to release your hands to your sides. Turn your right toes to face towards the other short edge of the mat, and then the left toes turn in slightly. We are sinking into that front leg. On the next breath in, we open up to the warrior two. Loop your shoulders, creating some space. Just be mindful if you are leaning a little bit forward here. Sometimes we have a tendency to do that, and I sometimes catch myself doing that. So we're just going to lean back slightly, aligning head over heart and then heart over pelvis as best as we can. Notice if you're gripping in the toes, can we soften? All right, let's straighten through that right leg. Hips begin to bump back. We're preparing for a triangle pose, so feel free to make use of any items here to support you. And we're going to begin that very slow tilt. And find an option that feels really good as we shine our heart forward, reaching the left hand towards the sky, and then choose where you wish to look. Using the breath to help us find steadiness and ease in this posture. Breathe in, and then breathe on out as if someone is lifting you up from your left hand. We rise on up to find our warrior two once again. Straighten through that right leg, turn both sets of toes in, and then place your hands on your hips. Draw your elbows back in space. And feel free to close your eyes here in superhero pose, big power posture. An invitation to smile. Take a loving breath in. And then a loving breath out. You can open up your eyes if they were closed. You can either bend at the knees and then hop the feet together. You can heel toe the feet together, or you can step the feet together. And let's make our way to the top of the mat. Feet hip distance apart. On your next breath in, send the hands to the sky. Breathe on out to fold forward, hinging at the hips. Breathe in, halfway lift, airplane arms. And then breathe on out to fold. Breathe in, both hands high into the sky, reaching. And then breathe on out to send the hands back and behind by your tailbone. Interlace your fingers, reach your hands towards the ground, and then away from your body. So that way your shoulder blades are coming together. Relax the shoulders down. Breathe in here. And then as you breathe out, begin to bend at your knees, hinge at the hips, sending your hands towards the sky. We explore a forward fold, keeping the bind. If this feels like a little bit too much, you can always come to the halfway point, or you can keep your hands on your hips, directing the elbows towards the sky. Wherever you are, allow your head to grow heavy here. Breathe in, and then breathe on out to release the bind, releasing your fingertips to the ground. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out through your mouth. Plant your palms down on the mat and then step it on back to a high plank. Now drive your right knee in towards your heart and then step the right toes back. Left knee comes in and then left toes back. So let's continue these mountain climbers, drawing one knee in towards the heart at a time, pressing out of your foundation. We are here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower your knees down to the ground, and let's just take a little bit of a rest in child's pose. Taking a moment here to reconnect with your breath. A little counterpose to all the lovely heart openers we've been doing. All right, breathe in, breathe out. Lift your forehead away from your mat, and then slowly rolling on up through the spine. All right, so for our final resting posture, this is where the blanket roll will come into play. So if you have a blanket, fold it over and then roll it up like I've done here. What we would like to do is we would like to create a blanket roll that can support the entire length of the spine as well as the head. A pillow will work as well. And if you are working without items, feel free to, when we come down on the ground onto our backs, just snuggle the shoulder blades underneath the back body to create that lift in the heart space. Okay, so you can place your item on your mat. Walk your tailbone closer towards that item. I'm going to leave some space because my blanket roll is not long enough to support my entire back body. And then lower on down to the forearms. And then eventually lowering on down to your back body. Walk your feet in. There is an option to do a lovely hip opener here. So bringing the soles of your feet together and then allowing the knees to grow heavy and open up, taking butterfly legs. You can even massage the hip creases here if that feels good. Another option is to send the legs out long on your mat. Feet are heavy. And wherever you land, I invite you to place your left hand on your heart space and then your right hand on your belly. An invitation to close your eyes. Again, if you are working without an item, snuggle the shoulder blades underneath the back body to create that lift in your heart. Take note of your heart beating underneath your left hand. And perhaps you notice and really feel your right hand rise in response to the breath in, and then fall on the breath out. An opportunity to say your affirmation here. I am worthy. I am worthy of love and joy. Feel free to place your hands, the tops of your hands on the ground, fingers soften, taking a few more breath cycles here. Heart openers are just so lovely for helping us improve our posture, encouraging spinal extension. Can also help us deepen our breath cycles, creating more space. And heart openers are said to release emotions. So maybe you felt or you experienced some emotions coming to the surface. Perhaps just consider that for a moment. And if you didn't, it's all good. Each of our journeys are unique. Let's breathe love in together. And breathe the love out. If you are in the hip opener, open up your eyes and then place your hands on your outer thighs. Close your legs. And if you had the legs extended, just walk the feet in. Everyone, very slowly roll off your roll to one side, literally slowing down our roll. All right. And find a cross-legged seat. Whenever you arrive there, place your hands on your heart. Breathe in. Breathe out. Thank you for being here today. So that was day number 5. I look forward to moving with you tomorrow in day number 6. Take care, and I will see you then. Namaste.